Yes, my name is Michael from Autel. I'm based in Europe. Um, the city I'm based in is in Munich in Germany. And today we would like to give you some new information about our chargers, EV chargers. In this case, we are talking about the DC charger.
Yep, exactly. The webinar today will be covering the future trends and solutions in the DC high power market at the moment and in DC high power charging. So the agenda for today will be to cover a little bit about Autel, do a little bit of a market review on DC charging, talk about some of the biggest challenges in the industry around DC charging at the moment and charging in general, and then some of the solutions we offer of dealing with that. We'll show you a few case studies and summaries as well of what's going on, and then we'll show you how to actually get in touch with us and ask us a question. So, who is Autel? Who are we? What do we do? So, for example, do you want to show Michael about the development path we've taken since our founding in 2004?
And in the beginning, we developed and produced, let's say in this way, diagnostic tools for the car repair shops. And then in addition, we got new and new devices in TPMS, in ADAS, in intelligent diagnostics. And some years ago, we started with the EV chargers. In the beginning, it was the AC wall box and then the DC charger.
Yep, exactly. So we started with the EV side of things in 2020 was the main when we launched our first product in 2020. In 2021, we went through with that, and every year since 2020 and 2021, we've been releasing new EV products to the market. Up until recently, when we've got our DC high power, which is our new flagship charger for the DC, specifically the DC market for commercial use. So from there, we're going to cover. So from that, we've got our quarterly earnings and our situation at the moment regarding the financial reports for Autel Energy. So as you can see here, over 30% increase in revenue year on year, which has been a great thing for us. Especially because of the amount of money we're pumping into research and development at the moment. Our R&D research and investment is over 60 million at the moment. Now, as you can see here, we've been growing since 2019, ever since, in a pretty linear fashion, up until 2022, where a lot of our profits dropped a lot, but that's because we pumped a lot of money into research and development for digital-based energy solutions. So we're looking to see the results of that come into play this year and going into next year as well. We should bounce back fairly competently. It should be good then. But yeah, that's just a little bit about Autel at the moment and how our financials look, how we're growing as a company from there. So from here, we've also got our global footprint. Michael, do you want to share with people what our global footprint looks like at the moment and where we stand?
Some years ago, we also started in Europe. So you can see we have offices in Europe, in the Netherlands, for example, in the UK, in Germany, France. So this means we are more or less all around the world, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And as you can see on the map there, we've got a more concentrated presence in Europe, and that's where we're kind of focusing a lot in Europe and America. So from there, we can see what is the market review like, what is the current outlook on the market for DC in particular. So we can have a look here from the market review. So at the moment, the European Union have started to introduce policies called the Alternative Fuel Policy as well, which is really focused on expanding the infrastructure in the European market at the moment. So Michael, you'll know a bit more about that being in Europe. So can you share a bit more about that?
Yeah. So on the one hand, in Europe, the government started very early to save the environment. Yeah, they want to have a clean environment. Also, we have a lot of politics. They belong to the Green Party. So the government push all the time new laws to get the environment clean. And in the beginning, they pushed also the battery electronic vehicles in passenger cars like Tesla or Hyundai or BYD, something like this. But now and also in the future, we will see, because the government gave these laws, we will also see trucks, battery electronic vehicles. So they want to get out the diesel cars and also diesel trucks, of course, and also the petrol cars. So it's forced by the government. And in the future, we will see many battery electronic vehicles, light truck, heavy duty trucks, and so on, with a battery inside and an electronic engine.
Yep, exactly. And the results of that you can see on the screen yourself were they've got certain targets in place to have and a certain amount of infrastructure built in. For example, for heavy duty vehicles, there has to be, for every 60 kilometers of road, there has to be at least one outlet delivering 350 kilowatts or more across Europe. And you can see yourself with the heavy duty vehicle for charging stations as well. Every charging station every 100 kilometers needs at least one outlet delivering 350 or more, and so on. And you can see that for yourself using the Trans-European transport system that they're trying to build. So that's what we're looking at the moment. Now, a quick look at the market penetration rates for the public chargers in particular. As you can see, there's massive penetration rates for the AC chargers in particular across Western Europe. Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Greece and Denmark are all very like a big market for the AC chargers in particular, and they've got high penetration rates. Now the DC chargers are a bit of a different story because that's more focused on the Eastern European countries like Romania, Czech Republic, Poland and so forth. Portugal is a bit of an outlier there, but they've got their own reasons for that. Now, in particular, what we want to focus on is the high power charging. Now, places like Denmark, Bulgaria, Croatia, Finland, and particularly Germany is a big focus at the moment in that. So you're being from Germany yourself and in that area, do you want to share a bit more about Germany's situation with the market?
Yeah, it's very easy to explain why Germany is the number one in these charts. On the one hand, we have a lot of engineers and also the high industrial area in Germany. So we like, or these engineers like to develop new products. Yeah? And on the other hand, I told you that the Green Party is in Europe very strong, and especially in Germany. And they push all the time that we get more battery electronic vehicles and also wall boxes and also chargers, because we need high power chargers, because the customer don't want to wait 1 hour or 2 hours. He would like to have the same effect like at a gas station. Yeah, go there, fill up the tank, pay the money and go. And these are the reasons.
Yeah, exactly. So that shows where the big investments are going at the moment. In particular, like Germany is a leader in the high power market at the moment. So as we can see here, with the holdings in public holdings by type, the AC, both the above 7.4 kilowatts and also the below 7.4 kilowatts, is the biggest charger in public holdings across Europe at the moment, with the DC power ones of under 150 kilowatts being the next biggest, and then obviously the high power one is the smallest market at the moment, but I'll show you the reasons now as to why that should no longer be the case in the future. So as you can see, the market growth here for DC chargers in particular, 2020 was a bit of a slower time, obviously because of the pandemic. Things were happening less around that time. But as you can see from 2021, there's been a huge increase, almost a linear increase in the amount of units available in the DC space in particular. So you got 20,000 units from 2020 right up until 2023, where you have over 60,000 units for the DC, like high power. Well, DC, that's just the DC in general. So you can see there's a very linear growth there, and there's a big growth in the DC market at the moment. So that should be an industry that people focus on, as the AC already has quite high penetration rates in general. So what are some of the solutions and challenges first, and then solutions to some of the biggest problems that we have in the EV space at the moment? So Michael, do you want to cover some of the challenges that you come across in the charging at the moment, the charging industry?
Yeah, actually, we have to combine different technologies. On the one hand, for private customers, we have wall boxes, so AC charging. But you need a long time to charge the battery of your car. So the customers also would like to have a solution to, yeah, get a fast charging for their battery electronic vehicles. So this is high power charging. And when we are talking about a green environment, we are also able to use solar panels and we can combine it. This means if you charge your car, your battery electronic vehicle, yeah, you can use the power of the sun. And so we are combining different technologies to get the best result.
Yeah, exactly that. And also we can see like with difficulty in site management as well, it can be quite complicated. And also inadequate distribution of energy can cause impacts on the grid, which is a big problem that the governments as well are trying to solve. Slow charging speeds as well resulting in very long charging times. They're the big problems, and including what Michael was saying as well. So how do we fix these challenges? What's our solution to these challenges? So if we look at the graph here as well, the graph shows, the diagram illustrates the comparison between 350 kilowatts to 480 kilowatts based on a 80 kilowatt an hour battery capacity. So as you can see, if in an area where you're slow charging speeds, that results in long charge times, which is bad for not only your customers, but it's also bad for the business as well, because it means you're getting less turnover of people using your chargers. So when you get a less of a turnover, it means that your customers are waiting longer, you get less turnover, less people using your facilities, and it's just worse all around. So the way we solve this is by building a charger that basically provides 600 kilometers of distance within just 10 minutes. As you can see, 640 kilowatt output of power across a maximum potential of 8 vehicles that you can use, which increases the turnover, it increases the amount of cars you can use at any one time, and also just gets through them very quickly. So that's one big solution that we have towards doing it, towards solving that problem. Also, challenge 2 is the high energy consumption and operating costs as well. So the way we solve this problem is through things like multiple communication methods, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, dual 4G, streamlined maintenance with redundant backup modular design, which enables easy maintenance. If it's built in a very modular way, we can integrate new things into it very easy. So anything goes wrong with the chargers, it's basically modular, so you can plug and play things. Have you got anything else that you'd like to add to that, Michael?
Yeah, in general, when we are talking about EV charging stations, most of the customers, they are just thinking about the hardware, yeah. But in the background, there is so much software. We also develop by ourselves, yeah. So you get a full package, hardware and software, and yeah, we have all the integrations and everything what you need.
Yeah, exactly. So another challenge that we've got is, I think you mentioned this earlier, like with the grid and how its impact on the grid. So with the challenge, another challenge we've got is that on peak demand, if a lot of people are using the chargers at once, it can cause congestion, and it can also cause some stress on the grid if things aren't managed properly. The way we solve this is through our patented energy cube matrix, which is a switching algorithm, and that's patented by us, and it has smart power distributions as well, which basically what that does is, as you can see with the graph on the right hand side, it basically distributes energy based on a dynamic situation. So depending on how many cars are using it at any one time, it'll distribute the power according to the needs and the percentages of the batteries and stuff like that. So you can see through the different scenarios there how it works. And this is a great way that we've managed to solve the problem of congestion during peak times. So what we also have here is challenge 4. Do you want to talk about the challenges around site management? Michael, you want to talk about the challenges around site management?
Yeah. On the one hand, as I told you, we also have a lot of software solutions, and it's totally depending how much power you need or how much energy. So every morning between 6 and 8, everybody is going to the bathroom, using the shower, then go to the kitchen, make a coffee. So there's a lot of energy what we need. Then 10 days, 10 hours on a day, you at your workplace. Yeah. So you don't need the energy. And then between 6 and 8, you would like to have energy also for yeah, using for the kitchen or something like this. And what we can also do is with our solutions, yeah, we can also adapt the price on a timetable if you would like to have this. Yeah. So you can say, for example, in the night, the prices should be lower if a customer comes with this battery electronic vehicle to the charger, and maybe on the day it's a little bit more expensive. So this is also possible. So we can control everything.
Yeah, exactly. And especially for companies as well, one of the ways that we manage the systems is also through flexible pricing and settings. So companies can set and control their own pricing options as well. So you have more control over your own income and your own potential there, depending on the situation. And of course, as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, the software that we have is good for, it's very easy to use, very easy to manage, and it manages all your hardware at one time in a compact solution. So that's one way to do it. Now, as you can see here, we have the CSMS features like smart charging, and you can see all the features down here like dynamic load balancing, adaptive load management as well, setting the power limits by each one, reducing the cost of your electricity, charging by the end time duration slot. You know, all these benefits to our smart charging system that you can see. Offers versatile solutions for varied technologies and methods. So it's something that is, especially during peak demands. And some of the remote maintenance is a big one as well, because if you don't have remote maintenance, then maintaining any problems that happen could obviously become a big problem. So with our remote maintenance situation, we've designed to cover the limitations of the OCPP. And as you can see here on the screen, we've managed to do it so that the data is stored in the cloud, and the operator can remotely monitor, configure and diagnose any problems that happen. So when an alert comes up or multiple alerts come up, you can customize the performance to prevent, and we can correct any maintenance problems as well. This is done purely remotely. So this is a great technology that we've got with one of the features. On-the-go smart charging solutions. Do you want to talk about on-the-go smart charging solutions, Michael?
Yeah, in general, the result is, yeah, to combine the different technology, like you can see here on the picture. Yeah, we have the solar panels, and through our devices, we bring the solar power to the battery of the battery electronic vehicle. In addition, you can see there are passenger cars, there are trucks, there are buses. So this will also be the future. And in general, the final end customer or the driver of a battery electronic vehicle would like to have the same process like on a gas station. Yeah. Go there, maybe wait 20 minutes, that's okay, but not 5 hours or 6 hours. Yeah. Pay the money and leave. So this is the final goal, to have the same process more or less like on a traditional gas station.
Yeah, exactly, and we're working towards that. Like we were saying before, you can charge 200, almost like 400 kilometers or 400 miles of distance in just 10 minutes worth of charging. So we're kind of progressing towards that situation happening. As you can see here as well with the with this fleet smart charging solutions that we've got, Smart charging solutions for fleets such as taxis, logistic vehicles, heavy duty trucks, things like that. All this, we provide like fast charging solutions to this, dynamic load balancing, back-end, like intelligent back-end software as well, so we can manage all these things for you. And also it's safe and reliable, and a total cost reduction for you is what we've tried and focus on. Now, getting on to our main product here, this is our flagship product, which is the DC High Power. It came out this year across Canada, across America, and in Europe as well. So this is our main flagship. So some of the benefits of this, of course, is ultra fast charging, accelerates revenue for the user engagement as well. It's up to 640 kilowatts of output, and that's a maximum amps of 650 amps output current as well, and 480 kilowatts on a single cable output. So it's liquid cooled, which is important because in liquid cooling, it means that the outside temperatures don't really affect the cooling, the charging rate of your charging in the car, because weather conditions can affect how efficient your charging is. In liquid cooling, that tends to reduce and stabilize the efficiency of your charging altogether. Like we said, it can provide up to 250 miles of range in just 10 minutes, which is fantastic. It's getting closer to what you'd expect at a gas station when you're just topping up, getting closer and closer to that all the time. We've optimized for power efficiency as well with the patented switching matrix, the energy cube that we mentioned before. Highly reliable, which drives high uptime. So its hardware and software is integrated together to minimize failure rates. And also, of course, it's scalable. So we've built a modular system that can add more modules, more power modules there if you need more. And it can adapt your dispenser count as well. So you can go from 1 all the way up to 8. You've got 8 vehicles you can charge at once at the moment, and it's compatible with, like Michael was mentioning before, it's compatible with solar power and different kind of energy storage systems as well. So this is our flagship product. It's one of the best on the market at the moment for what we do, and it's what we want to do to solve some of these problems. So I'll show you, Michael will show you a case study now. Do you want to mention about Denmark and our plant there?
Yes. So especially in the Nordic countries like Denmark, Sweden, and Norway, yeah, because the government of these countries pushed the customer to drive battery electronic vehicles on the one hand, and also the Scandinavian people, they are very friendly to the environment. They like the environment. So you will find a lot of battery electronic vehicles and also a lot of EV chargers. So AC, DC, and so on. So we have a lot of customers, and we installed a lot of chargers, especially in Scandinavia, in the north of Europe. And on the other side, the people, sometimes they were thinking, especially in the winter time when it's getting cold, I don't know exactly with a battery electronic vehicle and charging and the distance I can drive. But you can see it in these countries, it is not really a big problem. You can also drive the battery electronic vehicle in the winter time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, again, our very first station, the first place we put a DC high power was actually in Denmark, when we partnered with the PowerGo, and it's worked out really well there in Denmark. So just a quick summary of what we've gone through. It's with a high power charging rate. So for the DC high power, it's ultra fast output power to ensure efficient charging experience for your customers. High power charging reduces the charge time, enhances revenue, and also improves your customer satisfaction as well. It optimizes for power efficiency and reduces costs. It also increases the distribution capacity as well. And finally, it's easy site management because of how our hardware and software integrate, the software that we've brought out to make managing these charging networks a lot easier for you. So that's just a quick summary of that. And so for me, if you want to ask us any questions at all, if you've got anything for us, then send us an email at marketing@autel.com, and we'll respond to any questions that you might have regarding the webinar today. And if you have any, Michael, how else can they contact us?
Yeah, there's also a very easy way to get all the information about our EV chargers. Yeah, it doesn't care if you want to have information about the AC or the DC charger. Just use our Autel internet site, and then there you will find all the information, the documentation, the technical data sheets, whatever you need. Or yeah, write an email.
Yeah, exactly. So that's Autel@EU as well. So that'll get you to the European site specifically, or contact marketing@autel.com. So, well, thanks for watching today. I'm Andrew, and that's Michael. And thanks for watching our Autel presentation.
Thank you very much also from my side.
Thanks. Okay, so this is the live Q&A after the webinar that we've just shot now. So my name is Andrew. Again, this is Daniel. Introduce yourself.
Hello everybody. I'm Daniel Turiani. I'm from Italy, and I will be responsible for the new design center that we are opening right now in Milan, the capital of the design. And then, yeah, it's very exciting because we are planning to do great things for our users. So our goal with this design team is to create a culture of hearing our customers. So we will learn with this feedback, and then we will enhance and improve our products.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, obviously Milan will be where it's based, and obviously Italy is very famous and well known for good design, and so that's one of the reasons we wanted to put it there as well, because it's a design capital really for a lot of places around Europe, especially. So what the webinar you've just seen was regarding the future trends of DC high power, in particular high power charging for business users, how it can, what the market looks like for current high power charging, and also what are some of the common problems and then some of the solutions that there is in that industry, and what we intend to do in order to solve that problem. That our flagship product is the DC high power, which aims to really solve a lot of these common problems that people have in that industry. So now is the Q&A that we have at the moment. So if you've got any questions for us, we'll be happy to answer them, or at least try and answer some of them for you. So yeah, just any questions that you have, we can get into them. Yeah. So do we have any questions at the moment? So while we're waiting, for the Q&A, for the questions to come in, yeah, we can just talk a little bit about the DC high power in general. So bear with me a second. So the DC high power is a 480 kilowatt output charger. You may have seen it before. This is mostly for business use in places like the gas stations. It's great for fleet management as well, for fleet power. So like big EV taxi fleets and heavy duty vehicles as well. It's fantastic for that kind of thing. As you notice around the world, a lot of these fleets in particular are getting better and more efficient and starting to transition into more electric vehicles, because it's a lot more cost efficient to convert a lot of these big fleets nowadays, especially taxis. There's big taxi fleets that are going more into the electric because it's just cheaper. Anytime that you're driving a lot, like big heavy duty vehicles, taxi driving and all that, it's a lot more efficient to run on electricity now, which is where our DC high power comes in. So that's what it's mainly used for. And yeah, so let's have a quick look again. Any questions? So yeah, Neil asked, can you give more detailed information about the matrix switching algorithm? Yeah, sure. So the matrix switching algorithm is it's one of our patented systems that prioritizes the energy flow of like what's happening at once. So, for example, if you've got the high power, you can plug up to 8 cars with the high power. So, depending on how many cars are plugged into it, it will prioritize the energy and the power based on the grid and based on how many cars at once is in. So if you've only got one car plugged into the DC high power, then that one car will get priority and get charged. Now, if you've got like all eight plugged in at once, then it'll distribute the power more evenly across the 8 cars. And also it'll take into account the situation with the grid. It'll take other things into account as well on how it works. So that's some of the views and some of the basic understanding of how the switching algorithm works. It uses a little bit of AI to kind of understand and manage the power like it better. So I can go into a bit more detail about it. Hopefully that answers some of your question. If you've got any other questions about that, I can try and go into a little bit more technical detail. But bear me a second. I'll try and get that answer for you.
This balancing system that
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
works for all DC products, right?
Yeah, so the DC, well, in particular, the DC products, not all of them have it. The DC high power has the matrix, the algorithm, the matrix algorithm in it. That's one of the things about the new high power. So that will have the AI in it that will be able to distribute power. Now, some of our other chargers have like intelligent power distributions involved. For example, like we've got the AC wall box in Europe, especially. We've got the AC wall box, which it's plugged into your home. It will understand what's going on in the home. So it's like at peak times, it will be able to tell how much power is being drawn from the home. And if there's a lot of things switched on at once, like your fridge, you're cooking something, you've got like a kettle boiling for a cup of tea or something like that, then if you're charging your car at the same time, it'll be able to know that that's happening and prioritize and distribute the power evenly. Now, if the house is empty, like no one's in at all, then almost all of the power will be prioritized into your car then. Now, that same kind of idea works with the DC high power as well, but on a more powerful,
More professional level.
yeah,
also,
on a bigger level, exactly. Yeah, so it'll work with multiple cars and also the whole site. So if you've got a lot of high powers plugged in and you've got lots of cars, a whole fleet, then it'll dynamically adjust how much power is being prioritized to the car, depending on which cars need the most battery as well. So like some cars that are lower in battery will need more to top it up. But if there's cars that are, say, like around 80 or 90%, maybe they'll be less prioritized and it'll just automatically be able to intelligently switch between all your fleets and the best, what needs the most power, really.
And this intelligence will help us to save the battery of the car, right?
Yeah,
make it more long lasting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because like with battery science as well, like if you just kind of hit the full power all the time of the battery, it'll kind of drain your battery faster. The more you top up and drain it, your battery only has a certain amount of cycles in it. And this kind of technology helps make it more efficient for your battery. It also helps save money as well, because if it's not being charged efficiently, then if you've got a load of cars all charging at different rates and it's not being managed properly, you could be spending more money than you should be on charging the cars up to full, when you don't need to be like allocating the wrong amount of power to cars that don't need that much charge, basically. So it knows. It's called dynamic load balancing as well. It can kind of dynamically shift between what's needed at once. Yeah, so let's have a quick see if we've got any other questions as well. Hopefully that answered the question. Let's see.
We have a new one.
Yep, from Neil again. Is it possible to give energy to the vehicle according to the vehicle's SOC level and maximum acceptable power? The SOC, is it possible to give energy to the vehicle's state of charge? Yeah. So, so is that possible to get it to the acceptable power? Is that question? So it says, is it possible to give energy to the vehicle according to the vehicle's state of charge level and maximum acceptable power? Yeah. So with that question, that we'll just check with the technical team, the IT team. I'll check with the technical team, and they'll give us the answer for us. So yeah, we can ask the engineers now to see if we can find an answer for that. So yeah, bear with us a second. We'll ask our engineering team to see if to see that answer. Is there any more questions coming through, or? Yeah.
I think one thing that is very interesting in our company. I'm really fresh in the company. I was just saying to you that I just arrived like through 2-3 weeks to build this new team, this new design center, and I'm learning about everything. I'm a specialist in design, but not in energy. So I'm learning right now.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really impressed with all the quality. So I went to the factory, I saw the products, I saw how it is manufactured. And also it's very important how is the approach to improve the product. So you can notice that every small interaction, they are trying to improve the technical part, and the design team here is working always in the next generation.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
it's a company that is not sitting waiting.
Yeah. Exactly.
Enjoying the moment. Is really pushing forward to bring innovation.
Yeah, because we've always got one eye on what's happening in the future. We also take like customer feedback as well if things are becoming a persistent question that people talk about. A good example of that would have been, for example, with the AC chargers. There was a few people mentioning the fact that the cables are a bit stiff.
Exactly.
And from there, from that feedback that was quite persistent with a lot of people saying that our cables are really stiff, we went into the design team and we changed the design of the cables themselves, made them longer as well, so you could actually have more scope towards. The cable was quite short to where you can plug it in, and now it's changed towards it's over double the length that it used to be, and it's more flexible as well. We changed the material in the wire, to make it less stiff when it's cold, especially when in cold weather as well. So that's an example of how we can kind of improve design based on feedback, and also how we're also looking towards the future. Like now we've recently released the DC high power that we were talking about just a minute ago, and now we also trying to look for future technologies around liquid cooling and around other integrating AI, like we said with the matrix there. So so we're just still trying to find an answer to the question that Neil asked a minute ago. Yeah, just for in 1 second. Yeah.
And then when you talked about the customer feedback, I was today checking the work of AC that we are doing, the design team. And I just met the team that is responsible for the customer feedback. So everything that we sell in Amazon or other online shop, we get all this feedback from the user. So every review, we analyze that point, and then it's really impacting on the design. It's not something that is not said and forgotten. There is really applied.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, this part. So we are planning to do in Milan, not only this kind of interaction with the user, like the final user as they see. But our goal is like, since we are in Europe, we will have contacts in Germany, Spain, UK, and also we are attending supporting USA. And then we will try to meet our customers, but not the final user, but big companies that are buying our DC products,
Yeah.
the installers that are installing our products, to understand the pain points.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for example, we were in CES recently as well, in the big American trade show and the exhibitions there. And that was a good opportunity to meet a lot of the business, the people who we partner with, some of our existing partners and some of our potential partners as well, who could come and ask us many questions, like face to face. And it isn't just like throwaway questions, the questions that we actually take back and have a look at that kind of feedback, have a look at the data to see if it's a persistent suggestion, and see how we can integrate some of those suggestions into our future projects as well, to make sure it's best for the end user, such as yourself, especially in a business environment where a lot of businesses want to partner with us to get the chargers for their users as well, to make their customers better and happier. So a lot of the businesses will have feedback from their customers to come to us, and we'll kind of adjust, based on what the customers of your customers need in that regard. So do we have an answer for that yet? Not yet? Yeah, we're still trying to find the answer to Neil's question about the SOC levels for the maximum acceptable power. Yeah. So once we, Neil, so if you're still watching, Neil, what we'll do is, once we've found the answer, we'll actually type the answer to you in the chat later, so you can read the answer to that question. We're still trying to find the engineering team is on the first floor where we are. So we're trying to find someone to answer the question for you, and we'll get back to you. We'll type it into the chat afterwards so you can read it and you can see the answer for yourself. Okay. So other than that, do you still have any more questions, or no questions yet? So far, like you say, you are quite new to the company. So what's your experience like? Because you just come to the factory so far, and you've been to see many aspects of it. How's it been?
No, it's a great experience. I knew Autel Tech, that is more the professional automotive part, and then Autel Energy is quite new, but it's new with a lot of knowledge, a lot of background from the Autel Tech. So
yeah, exactly.
It's an impressive thing. And then we are talking about automotive. So who is the best person that can develop technology for EV? Is the one from the automotive. So it's very impressive. Not only the product that I was checking here, but all this care and the structure they have. So the company is very structured, and then you can have support, and the speed here is incredible.
Yeah.
I just arrived. I just starting new projects and then building a team, and the time to do this is really, really tight. So we are not waiting. We are moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. And we actually have an answer for Neil's question. It says, is it possible to give energy to the vehicle according to the vehicle's SOC level and the maximum acceptable power? Yeah, the answer is yeah. You can give the vehicle power according to the maximum acceptable level on the SOC. Yeah, we've got that answer, and you can. Yeah. So if you've got any follow-up questions about that, yeah, we'll the answers. Yeah, we'll send it in. If you've got any more questions now, anybody in the chat, send it to the email. The email is marketing. I'll send it in the chat actually. marketing@autel.com. So there we go. If you've got any questions at all, you want to send it to marketing@autel.com, and we'll do our best to answer the questions for you. If I can't answer it, I'll find somebody who can, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. But yeah, that's it for us today. Thanks for watching. And like I said, send us in your questions if you need anything answering. And hopefully we'll have a new webinar coming out at some point soon about a different kind of topic that we've got based on your feedback and based on our feedback in general. We'll come up with a new webinar topic, and yeah, we'll have a look from there. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your questions, especially Neil. Thanks for your question. And yeah, have a good day.
Thanks, everybody.